Good morning. What is going on out there today? Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, with another episode of 7 Around 7. That would be 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Mountain time zone, where I am, Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Hope you're having a great great start to your day. Here we are, the 10th of September, a Friday, and I hope you got some good tennis lined up today and this weekend. I got a good workout scheduled for Sunday. Looking forward to that. In the meantime, as I've been mentioning to you guys lately, I'm down on my property getting that thing cleaned up. Little chainsaw action, little creating burn piles, stacking firewood. There's enough firewood down there for 3 or 4 generations of Abels. Anyway, all good. And yes, great cross-training exercise for tennis, I think. Anyway, guys, here's what I got for you today. Serve and volley and where to serve. And this really does apply to both singles and doubles. And I got a little story wrapped around this back in the day that kind of illustrates my strategy for where to serve when I'm going to play serve. Well, actually, whether I'm serve and volley or stay back or whatever. Before we get into it, down below in the description area, look, if you are struggling with a specific part of your game, could be technique, could be tactics, could be mental, could be physical. I don't know what it is, but maybe there's an area of your game that you're just trying to figure out, been a while, and you can't quite get it done. I want you to consider some private one-on-one coaching with me. And how this works is it's not in the court. I'm not doing any on-court teaching. Jeff Jacklich and I held something last year in 2020 before COVID hit. And but so look, I'm not on the court, but I've got a lot of online students, right? Online meaning Zoom and or phone, and more than happy to help you try and solve whatever that problem is. The way to show some interest in that is just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And I'll get back to you with details, how it works, price, and you can decide if this might be a good fit for you or not. So there it is, brent@webtennis.com. So serve and volley, where to serve, kind of a common question I get. And thank you for you guys who took the recent survey, the 2-part questionnaire about serve and volley, about singles or doubles, and really what's your number one question about it. And, a common response is, where do I serve? And so for me, it's really kind of opponent dependent, right? And sometimes if it's an unknown opponent, I don't have any intel on this player. The first couple of serve games, and especially in doubles with both me and my partner, is we're probing. We're trying to see, what are their instincts? What do they like to do with their return, depending on where we serve? And again, assuming that we're playing serve and volley, we're coming in behind that serve. So typically for me, the way that I start to probe is I go to the body. I try to serve right to the body rather than going out wide or rather than going down the tee. And again, like we've always said, I'm assuming that the return is coming back, and that's okay. Right? I'm not worried about the return coming back. So what does that mean? Well, for me, that means that I can take my time to be able to finish the serve motion the way I want to, right? I picked out a target, and in this case, unknown opponent, I'm going straight to their body. I want to challenge them to get out of the direction of my serve. And a couple things we're going to discover is number one, what do they choose, a forehand or a backhand? Do they chip? Do they charge? Do they drive? Do they lob? What do they do? And but take one step back is again, when I come out of my serve, I'm not worried about that. I'm probing, meaning I get to take my time to finish my service motion, come out of that motion on balance and ready to cover the court, whatever is presented to me with that return. And so from there, it depends on how things are going, right? Are we winning points? Okay, if we're winning points and me serving to the body, great. I'm going to keep going there. If we're struggling a little bit, then I'm going to have to probe another target, whether it's out wide. In this, the picture here, ad court, maybe it's a little bouncer, high bouncer kicker out wide. Could be to their backhand. If they're lefty, no. Or I'm going down the tee, but I got to probe on this. And again, I'm assuming the return's coming back. That's okay. And whatever comes back, you know what? We'll just take it from there. So I want you to take a little bit of pressure off of feeling that you've got to have a formula. Like, one of the responses, well, where do I serve to make sure that something predictable happens? Come on, man. I can't tell you that. Just because you serve to some guy who's got what you think is a weak backhand, does that stop them from placing this perfect little lob over your partner up the line? And now you guys have kind of lost the advantage of the net. So no, I can't tell you, here's the formula. If you serve here, then this will happen each and every time. And that means that you're going to win the point. If someone's trying to tell you this is where you should always serve and serve volley, wow. Okay. Maybe for a specific opponent, as I said in the beginning, it's opponent dependent. Sure. Okay. That might work well. Is it going to work every time just because the first few times it worked? Nope. No, it's not. It just isn't. So I want to share a little story with you. So back in the day, I had this great job, and I was working in Key Biscayne, Florida, this little island right off Miami. I thought I died and gone to heaven when I got this job. And I don't want to go into the whole story about that, because how I got the job and all the stuff, all the great people I met there, that's another time. But the person I worked for, Donna Floyd Fales, a former top tenor, U.S., and great player, classic, just all the stuff, right? Just classic player, volleys, half volleys, just beautiful stuff, right? I learned so much just by watching her hit the tennis ball. And to this day, she continues to love the game. She continues to play, is always in the hunt for gold balls in her age group every year. I've seen her a couple of times when I was on World Cup teams. I think the last one was maybe in Perth, Australia, 10 years ago, something like that, 11 years ago. Anyway, great gal, great player. And so what we would do from time to time is we play some doubles, right? She'd get the staff together and we play some doubles. And I was really starting to learn how to play the game. This was pre Tom Stowe. So I didn't really have the Stowe stuff, didn't even know about it yet. So I was a do-it-yourselfer and trying to figure out the game. And I'd sort of developed this forehand that I could actually kind of thump a little bit. And so I'll never forget this one day we're playing doubles, Donna's serving, and she had a pretty good serve, but nothing that I couldn't really deal with. And she kept serving to my forehand. I kept thumping it, and she kept taking her first volley and just eating me up with it landing at my feet over and over and over again. And I just, I got a lot frustrated. So finally, at some point she stopped everything. I think it was on a side change. And she goes, look, man, I know exactly what you're going to do with that forehand. I know that you're going to unload on it. And if I know what you're going to do, then she said, then I've got the advantage, right? She said, it doesn't matter how big you hit the forehand. It doesn't matter to me. You're going to the same spot. And, sometimes I might play a forehand volley or backhand volley, but she kept saying, I know what's coming. And it's kind of like a baseball hitter, right? Even if that guy, even if the pitcher's throwing 100 plus miles an hour, if the hitter knows what's coming, it's all over. The hitter has the advantage. So the same thing with her. And so what I would tell you first is that was a huge epiphany for me, was that I said, oh, I see. So what I should be doing is thumping it once in a while, laying it down at your feet once in a while, and maybe throwing in a lob once in a while. And she just kind of went, bingo, there you go. You can't be predictable, right? And so that was a big deal to me. And so, look, it kind of gets back to where to serve. Once you've probed with an unknown opponent, or even if you've got a known opponent, and eventually with the unknown one, you kind of figure out what they do on a certain serve placement that gives you predictability, or gives them predictability, and you know what they're going to do, and you can handle it. Then I would just keep going there, right? I would keep going there. I would make sure that you've got a partner, if we're talking about doubles, that will always throw in a fake poach, right? I'm not saying they got to poach all the time, but if they'll always throw in a fake poach and kind of dirty up the landscape, the visual landscape for that returner, it just kind of unsettles the returner enough visually to where it just makes your serve even better. So if you're looking for a formula that if you serve out wide to the guy's backhand every time to the ad court and you're going to win the point, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy. Because if you become predictable with a serve, then you know what happens is maybe that weak little backhand, now they know it's coming. Maybe it's no longer so weak, right? So again, mix it in. I start with going to the body, and when I'm playing doubles, even no matter what, even if it's a known, the guy's kind of got a weak backhand or something like that, I'm still going to the body a lot. I just feel like, especially in senior tennis, that if you've got I'm not talking about the biggest serve in your age group, but I'm talking about a high quality serve, which means that number one, it goes in play a lot. That first serve goes in play a lot. Number two, you come out of your service motion where you're on balance so that you can visually see what's going on over there right away. If you've got the kind of serve, even if you're consistent with your first serve, it goes in a lot, but your service motion, you're off balance, you're kind of stumbling or falling your first step or two, man, that your confidence just takes a hit in terms of that transitional next shot. So high quality in play first serve, doesn't have to be an ace. Assume it's coming back. You come out of your service motion on balance so you can visually see what's happening, not only with did you actually serve to your intended target, but you've really got a lock on the return coming back. So your decision making about shot choice is done, right? And all you got to do is wait for it and just execute it. And really then it's more about, well, what's your target? Next time you step up from the line to serve, what's your target? And again, it's got to be a mix. It's got to be a mix. And so, again, if you're hoping to go, oh, well, where to serve, meaning here's the formula that I'll win a point every time, not going to happen, man. So look at the big picture. Look at the numbers, right? We talked about that the other day with serve and volley about coming in, right? You're going to get past. You're going to miss a few volleys. You're going to miss a few transitional shots. That's just part of the deal. And if you think to yourself, because you served once to the body and you didn't win the point, and you go, well, this doesn't work, well, then that's really short-sighted. And it's just going to be the worst, because then you're going to start staying back. And once you stay back, especially in doubles, I just think the return team now has the advantage. So anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Hope that makes sense. Kind of a ramble. All right. Would love to hear from you. Brent at webtennis.com. If you want some personalized one-on-one private coaching on that one specific area of your game that you're really struggling with. So let me know, and I can get back to you right away with how it works and price. And then you just decide if this might be a good fit for some coaching for you. All right, guys, that's it from me today. We're keeping this under 15 minutes if I get out of here in the next 2 seconds. time. Get out there, help another human have a spectacular day. Guys, let's do it again tomorrow. See you then.